What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the bottom of the map. In the blue color, playing as Oranos. You already know this guy's name is not Raphael. His real name might be Raphael, but he's actually known as Ulysses. Ulysses the Great, even. Ulysses the Wise. Ulysses the Wanderer. Ulysses, the one to take down Squash in this game. Who knows? Because that's his opponent in the red color, playing as Ra. I already said it, but I'll say it again. The man, the myth, the legend, the Squash, hailing from the United States of America, showing... Is that correct? I'm not actually 100% sure if that's correct or not. Is he Canadian? Okay, whatever. He's from one of those places in that place over there. And he's over the world. He's over kind of one of those. Yeah, anyways, he's playing Ra here in this game. And the map is Frozen Wastes. So this map here, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most frustrating maps you can possibly play on. Because this gold mine here, this next gold mine over here, this next gold mine over here. Basically, there's just gold mines all around the map. And it's very, very easy to raid these gold mines. So, and also these home gold mines as well. They're very, very easy to raid. So, if you're playing a raiding civilization, such as Atlantean, you have a huge advantage on this map because it's really, really hard to play defensive. So, the way to overcome this with gods like Ra, gods that are defensive, gods like Hades, is, well, either A, you building block with this, so like a temple here and then some houses here to block this in. But then you also need to make sure that you are doing something slightly different. Doing something maybe more raiding orientated, more spearman orientated, or cavalry raids. The difficulty comes when your opponent is playing as Atlantean and they get these buildings called manors, which are effectively the equivalent of walls for Oranos, for Atlantean. So let me explain it. Yes, Atlantean still has walls. They do have that wall advantage here. But the Ensemble Studios, the minds behind Atlantean over at Ensemble Studios decided that 3 villagers being sent to build 1 wall was too much. So we're going to have to give the Atlanteans just a little bit more protection from raids. So we're going to allow 5 villagers to be able to gather or garrison into a manor. And then what they did was they said, you know what, we're going to give them 5 manors so this isn't too bonkers broken. But what it turns out is that Atlanteans only can build 25 villages. And what is 5 times 5? It's 25. So you can build 5 manors and have all of your citizens garrisoned in them. And therefore, walls were no longer needed. So on a map like Frozen Wastes here, Oranos prospers. Oranos lives the dream, as it were, on this map. And we'll see if that's going to be the case here or if Squash has got something in his bag of tricks. Now, one thing that the Egyptians do have, which is super, super interesting to try, is the Egyptians here on this map can oftentimes advance incredibly fast. They can go for like a 4-minute advance time. And you know that the food situation is always going to be in the front of your opponent's base, in a ring like this. So you can say, if you just look at the mini map over here, this is kind, I know it all looks black, but you know that the hunt is always going to be here. So one thing you can do is send your Pharaoh forward at 4 minutes and find their hunt. Or sorry, at 3 minutes when you click it up and find their hunt. And then you can use shifting sands onto it with villagers and go for a cheeky villager rush. Very, very cheese, but if you kill up a villager or 2, you're in a very good position. And you can steal their hunt. So that is one option that Ra can try on a map like this where they are very much struggling. We are going to be seeing Squash going for a 4:30 advance time, grabbing himself a second town center. So this is something that we've seen Chemo try, I believe, against Scardy. And what he did behind this was he went Spearman behind this, which isn't a bad idea. So we'll see if Squash is going to do the same or if he's just going to do something more standard, trying to get himself out Shadoof. It looks like he's got no favor and no villagers on the wood just yet, so pretty obvious we're not going to be seeing Shadoof anytime soon. We do see these Prometheans jabbing the villagers away and then realizing that the Pharaoh's there, so deciding not to do anything here. We will be seeing them coming back in. One little jab, town center up, going to be leaving. We do have a relic over here, the Ship of Fingernails. We've talked about this one before. 20 free food a minute. It's not that much, guys. It's not that much. But, I mean, if you're going to pick up anything, you should pick it up. It is free food. So, I mean, why not grab it? But it's not as good as you think. And we do have this relic over here, the Tower of Cestus, the extra range damage. And we are going to be seeing Ulysses grab that one for himself before he's pushing in with these units here. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ulysses thinking about grabbing himself a second town center anytime soon, potentially even a third town center behind here. Well, I want to clarify this. Free food isn't as good as you think because you're losing out on your Pharaoh empowering to go and grab it. So the relic here, say it gives you 25 free food, the relic starts to pay for itself because you have to walk from a resource over to pick it up and then take it back over to the temple. So you're actually losing out on however many resources that would be. So it's not exactly free food. You are paying for it a little bit. You can do that with your priest, but then you have to buy the upgrade. So it is just a little bit. Anyways, here's the town center. Now coming up here for Ulysses, just the first one. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for a third one as well. You see he's got 2 villagers on gold here. If he wants to go for that third one, he'll just take these villagers off of gold, chuck them over to wood, and then go and chuck this down. Going up to 3 town centers on this map can be very, very strong here. Going for the army spam, we are seeing some raids now coming in, just 2 medium terma being very, very obnoxious here. Nice micro from Ulysses. I believe he's utilizing the passive stance here. You can see how they don't really walk forward and they will target down the villagers and not chase them away. As you can see, they sit here and they just wait, and he doesn't have to do anything. The way you do this is Alt-S. Alt-S. We do see these Prometheans going to be scouting around trying to find all the goats here. These villagers just hanging out, and the farms are now getting thrown out. Ooh, I don't love this from Squash, chucking up this many farms on his front town center. You should be chucking them all up on your home town center and putting like maybe 5 farms here on this town center. That's like 1, 2, 3, those farms here, minus this one. And then the rest of these farms should be going into your hometown center. It doesn't matter about that walking time, because one thing that is going to happen here is if Ulysses finds any sort of opportunity here to push in, he will simply just sit here and you'll have an idle farms of 15, 16 villages, however many villages are here. So this is a bit of a mistake from Squash. So we'll see if Ulysses is going to be able to take advantage of this or not. Or maybe it's a bait and maybe Squash has got some ideas of garrisoning units in here or not. We are going to be seeing a little bit of an issue coming for Squash. He's got this beautiful protection of this gold mine coming up, but this gold mine is not protected in the slightest. He might have to wall up to the to this over here as best as he can. So maybe here, and then build some buildings to go the other way. Can he come over? He could come here as well, right? I guess no. It's kind of bad. God, that's actually so bad. Oh, you can go there. So here, and then you can't go any further. So this has to be a building. So a bit tough here for Squash to go to defend that one. And we are seeing Ulysses not going for his third town center. So I'm interested to see what he's trying to do here. It looks like he's cut units, just building villages. He's going through that. So he's going for a fast heroic here off of 2 town centers. And this is what Squash is probably doing here now. And he is doing that. So it's just all coming down to reactions here, it seems thus far. As Squash was probably considering going some spearmen here in the classical age if Ulysses was going for an army spam. But maybe he sees Squash sees Ulysses on 2 town centers, not going for 3 town centers, realizes he doesn't need to build those units because well, 2 town center army spam isn't really a thing. He has to worry about the heroic age coming through. So the question here now is, does Ulysses now go straight to the mythic age from behind this, or does he go for a forward citizen chucking up a citadel and go straight into like Arcus Destroyer or Arcus Mermillo Destroyer and see what he's going to try and do here? And there's the Hathor coming through for Squash as he gets his Patsukos out, and Thea comes through for Ulysses. So here's the Arcus coming out right now for Ulysses, and we do see the Hesperus tree obviously wants to come down. He wants to be building those at some point. Still no palace out just yet for Ulysses. No third town center obviously for either player. And just a little bit of harass coming in thus far. Ulysses keeping his resources relatively low. There's the Migdol Stronghold coming up for Squash. So the question now is, what unit comp can Squash go? Because one thing you have to note is that normally at this point in the game, the Egyptian player is dealing with a predominantly Terma Mermillo army, and that gives them enough time to defend. What's going to happen now is that Ulysses should be able to go Arcus Destroyer straight away. So how do you beat that as Egyptian? Arcus Destroyer, you need Axe to kill the Destroyer, and you need Cavalry to kill the Arcus, right? That's kind of the counters. You can go Chariots to try and kill the Arcus as well. But it's very, very tough to make that work because the Arcus deals so much damage here. So we are seeing some raids now starting to look like they want to happen for Squash. But what's Ulysses doing right now? Is he going up to the next age? Not just yet. Squash is going Mythic age now. He's going straight through Osiris. And this is exactly the counter. Very, very smart play from Squash. He sees the fast heroic from Ulysses, and he says, you know what? I know how to beat this. I know how to beat the Destroyer all in. Just get me a Son of Osiris and let that guy carry me from there. So very, very smart play. But Son of Osiris can get dealt with by mass Arcus here. And maybe this is why we're not seeing those Destroyers coming out just yet from Ulysses. He's currently sitting at 110 of 110 population, getting himself that third town center over here, as we do see a cavalry coming over here, going to be attacking these villages. And the Destroyer now coming out. We are seeing the raids coming through onto this location here. Is the Wadjet, Patsukos, Chariot Archer is going to be able to push this one back. There is a Stymphalian bird flying overhead, doing his thing. It's the cavalry now coming over here. They're not going to be able to do all too much. We see the farms queued up for Ulysses right now. And I tell you, this town center doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Would have much preferred to see a Mythic Age coming through, like a Helios or even, I guess, the Hecate would be completely fine as well, and then get the town center, but not happening just yet. There's the Son of Osiris coming through for Squash, as he's ready to continue in this game with that unit. Obviously, Squash doesn't have to push out just yet. A lot of the times you want to play defensive until you win, basically, with Egyptian here in this matchup. And if he can get this third town center, he's going to be sitting very, very pretty here. And Squash is now 118 of 130 population, starting to get more spearmen out, more units popping out, a little bit of excess resources in the bank. Not sure what he's saving for. Maybe thinking about getting himself fortified town centers or something like that, as Ulysses is full villages here, it looks like. He's getting himself that market, going to be going up to the Mythic Age as soon as he possibly can here. There we go. He's going up through Hecate. So it's going to be about a 14-minute Hecate. I feel like he probably could have thrown this down at about now instead of 14 minutes or maybe 13 minutes in. He probably could have been in the Mythic Age and also had the town center up. But not happening, and we'll see if it's going to be enough. We do see the Mummy is here as well. Mummy can be very, very useful at picking off those Dryads, Stymphalian birds. We do see the Catapult now coming out for Squash as he's ready to start pushing forward off of 2 town centers here, but Ulysses is now 145 or 145 pop. Squash is now getting himself that fortified town center. Wants to get up to 140 of 140 pop. Moving over here to grab this mining camp, as we are seeing some units on this location here. The Stymphalian bird getting pushed back, but the Destroyer's here to help save this one, as the priest might want to just consider running away. We might be able to see Squash now going after this town center with his catapult, as Ulysses is just biding his time here. There's a world in which you can sack this town center, build up palaces, and go into fanatics and be very, very strong at this point, but I don't think it's probably the best idea, as Ulysses Needs to somehow fight this back. There's no Son of Osiris here right now, so he can take this fight nice. He's got a bunch of Hero Arcus to take down these myth units here. We are seeing the villagers starting to repair over here as the Son of Osiris coming through. Still at full HP, hasn't taken any damage just yet. And we see the Son of Osiris pushing in. Over here, he's going to be able to take down this town center. It doesn't have much HP at all. Now we see the destroyers pushing forward here. And we do see the town center falling as... Well, now Squash has got the advantage here. 140 of 140 population versus Ulysses, who's 130 of 140, or 140 of 130 here. He's going to be losing a lot of units, getting pushed back. We do see the destroyers now moving in here as the Tartarian gate getting thrown down on this location. Do we have Skin of the Rhino? No Skin of the Rhino just yet, so this Tartarian gate will get some value. No Masons just in yet, but Squash, what a play from Squash. He has the catapults out, and he's just going to Shifting Sands back over here, take the Tartarian gate down instantly. The Son of Osiris is going to be able to take down these Tartarian spawns incredibly fast, and this Tartarian gate says goodbye in a matter of seconds here. Incredibly nice play from Squash. Fantastic use of the Shifting Sands here, showing yet again that Shifting Sands is one of the most versatile god powers in the game. But this is going to allow Ulysses to get his town center back if he so chooses. In fact, he's going to be choosing to take the forward town center over here, and he should be thinking about making Fanatics now. Fanatics are so good. He's got 2 palace, so he could start making them. There's a lot of villagers on wood. Obviously, he wants the Arcus to be able to be used onto the Son of Osiris, but while this is going on, the town center has been spotted here as we've got champion spearmen out already, and the town center will not come up. Now, Ulysses might want to consider trying to take this town center for himself, but now Squash is moving forward with his villagers, going to be able to take down this palace. He's got himself the Son of Osiris that's finished up. It's moving forward over here. We've got the Arcus moving forward. No upgrades for Ulysses' Arcus just yet. As the Son of Osiris is getting taken down, the palace does go down. The town center will shoot up incredibly fast here as the spearmen will be taking down these citizens that are very much out of position right now. The town center now coming up for Ulysses, as we'll see Ulysses attempt to prevent this from coming up. But the rock getting picked up over here does drop that Son of Osiris in order to empower this one back up, and will get that town center up, picking those units back up yet again. And Ulysses has to retreat away as these spearmen have dealt with those citizens there. We see another, where is it? Another Hesperid's tree coming in, as maybe, yes, we've got the Titan gate now coming down for Ulysses. He sees the only option for him right now is to get this Titan gate down. There's no Shifting Sands. There's no Tornado. There is a Locust available, but Squash, I don't think he's going to be able to utilize that one here because of the Hesperid's trees. Yes, he's not going to be able to get that down. So nice play here, utilizing those god power blocking abilities. And now we see this town center getting denied yet again. Very, very nice play from Squash. He's going to take down the mana. Let's see how many resources Squash has. He's got the favor basically to get his Titan out. He just needs some food, just needs some wood. And I don't think that this Titan gate is going to get up in time here, as now Ulysses is losing even more villagers here. As the not only, well, the rock's gone, but there's 6 catapult here. So Squash can basically just move over here and just right-click onto this Titan gate and prevent it from going up. I don't think that Ulysses is going to have the army here. We do see some spearman raids now hitting these villagers over here. No gold income currently. 1 villager of gold income currently for Ulysses, as Squash trying to push forward. He's going to be able to take down this barracks over here nicely. And the Arcus is going to heroize to try and take down the Patsukos, but what does Ulysses actually have left in the tank? Not a whole lot. We see the villagers starting to get taken down. The catapult says, look, I don't even care. I don't have to rush this. I'm just going to take your house down. Keep you on the back foot. Don't have to rush the catapult in to take this Titan gate down. And Ulysses is going to find himself in a very, very difficult position very shortly. Nice shockwave, but not going to matter too much, as the Son of Osiris still very much healthily alive here. Going to even take the armory down here, as the destroyers will try and take down these catapults, but we're very, very slow at taking them down. They only deal 6 damage a shot, which is very much not enough to do anything here. As now the Son of Osiris is taking some damage by the watchtower, as more Dryads coming out, and Squash is still ignoring the Titan gate, and now he can think about starting to take this Titan gate down. How many catapults does he actually have right now? He's got himself 8, 9 catapult here. That's so many catapult. Squash just realizes it doesn't matter. He just needs siege here as he's pushing forward. And he's still ignoring the Titan Gate. He doesn't care. He's just like, all right, I'm going to take down the town center first. And then everything else will fall afterwards. As all these buildings falling, the citizens getting taken down by the son of Osiris here. And Ulysses is desperately trying to take these catapult down, but it's just so much damage. The town center will fall here. 51% onto the Titan Gate as the villagers there's just not that many left. There's 8 citizen left on this Titan Gate, and the spearmen too strong here as the son of Osiris retreating away from those Arcus for the time being. We do see the Hesperid's tree does get sniped here as Squash has got so much gold in the bank at this point to spam out his own dryads. And now the Titan Gate will be falling. And that is the game there. GG. Well played by Squash. I tell you what, an interesting try from Ulysses. But this doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you a little story about what town centers mean and what you can possibly achieve. The strongest way to achieve something based on how many town centers you actually have. So currently, let's just take a look at what Ulysses did here. So he went 2 town center fast heroic. It's not a bad strategy, but what 2 town center fast heroic means is either A, you're going to be hitting a 2 town center timing with units, or B, you're going to be hitting a 2 town center fast mythic, getting your 3rd town center behind it, utilizing that mythic age god power to get you time to get the economy sorted, and then you go straight into mythic age army. So those are the 2 options. What Ulysses did was he went 2 town center fast mythic into a 3rd town center into a semi-fast mythic, which was just way too slow. Now, if we take a look at what happened was Squash already had his siege out, was able to deal with that Tartarian Gate without taking any damage, basically just traded shifting sands for it, and it was gone. Had that Titan Gate been thrown down at like the 12-minute, 13-minute mark before those catapult were out, essentially the same time that Squash, probably even faster than when Squash got to the Mythic Age, if he threw that down then, it would have done a lot more damage. Could have gotten this town center up, could have done this same strategy going straight to the Titan Age, except instead of making all those Arcus, maybe going in with some Fanatics instead. And he would have been in a very, very different situation than this game here. All that being said, I do think that the best strategy here for Oranos is to simply just go, oh, you went 2 town centers, I'm going to go 3 town centers, I'm going to spam army, and then just, especially if the farms like this, just sit on the farms here, sit on the gold mine that was back here, and just cause a lot of grief to the Ra player. But Ulysses did not do that in this game, and Squash took the game. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.